world.
nationalism and God are perfectly cohesive. They have forsaken the age of information. They are to be eliminated.
Let me repeat that, anti-rape song. I don't know, I just thought, I got tired of people trying to put too much meaning into my lyrics, you know, as being too, not making enough sense, you know.
Maybe being offended and not understanding it kind of goes hand in hand. They've been programmed by too many beer commercials.
Yeah.
Most anyone who knows about us would probably know that we are pretty much anti-rape at this point, you know.
Maybe you shouldn't be talking about it. It's like taboo, you know. Daddy's bonking the little stepchild. I mean, we don't talk about that here. No. We never went to college. What's college like? Is there girls and frat boy parties? That's pretty scary.
We played at a lot of college parties.
I know. We practically went to the Evergreen State College. I mean,
I know,
we just
we
go to
lived there. Went there every weekend, and no one studied, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've noticed actually all the interns that we had this policy at Spin at one point that we weren't going to hire any more interns that went to college because they were completely clueless. The more college experience they had, you know what I mean? It's like high school dropouts are the only ones who know how to operate a Xerox machine.
More people are addicted to TV than they are music.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, you know, digital, you know.
For an establishment magazine like Newsweek to just report on something so sketchy, like a page and a half. It was just amazing. I couldn't believe it. Then I started flipping through other stories about the Mideast and whatever. I'm like, God, how much credibility do these things have? And then
I had kind of the same reaction too. It's like, if something like this could be so wrong, then what does it say for the rest of the stories? That
I mean, there was some truth. I mean,
there was confusion.
And our lives are like hamburgers for B. Dalton and Doubleday. And then they're the fry cooks dishing out the slop.
Sometimes that hurts.
Yeah. Is that sort of a direction you'd like to take further in the future?
Hell yes. Yeah, like those other witches. Yeah, like those other witches. Yeah, like those other witches.
Piece of shit.
There's always the scapegoat.
Where do you still crucify that one?
But not
kid?
in school.
Where do you still crucify that one?
But not
kid?
in school.
What do you think provokes that sort of, you know, and what's in your band or your music or your personalities that provokes that kind of reaction from?
We just, we don't think before we speak.
We're reactionary ourselves. We hear something, blah, go off right on. Maybe we just don't want to play MTV softball or something. We only fit in. So. There's some kind of marketing plan or something.
Yeah.
On Francis Farmer, Kurt sings, "I miss the comfort in being sad." Is this regarding the price you pay for fame?
No, that's a ridiculous question.
Sorry.
No, that doesn't, I don't know, that was just a line that I picked out of a poetry book that I'd written. I mean, out of some of my poetry, you know.
That's all right.
I swear to God, I'll swear on a Bible. And now we've had a kind of a falling out with him. It's just too bad. Oh, okay.
Do you swear that those were your ideas?
I absolutely do.
So help you God. All right, there you have it.
Proof positive.
This is Gaddafi's green book. It's not the Bible. No, it is the Bible. It's all entertainment. It's all points and ratings and unit shifting. It's just pretty much what they're fed, you know what I mean? It's like the president of Viacom, he wants to be the #1 entertainment conglomerate, not #4, not #3, but #1. It doesn't matter what the quality of the programming is, it's just what share of the market they control. It's really sick.
I think if they played like Daniel Johnston between Santana and the Moody Blues, that like Daniel could sell like 2 million records.
No.
You wish.
Yeah, sure. If you can cram garbage like poison down people's throats, why not Daniel Johnson?
Daniel Johnston
than poison.
He should be to the 90s with the Maharishi Yogi.
The Ramones should have
60s.
had 10 top 10 singles by now, you know.
Does, in any sense, does the success of your band make that more of a possibility now? things
I
like that?
haven't seen
Do
it.
you think it has had any positive effect on radio, or?
No. It's the same exact thing as new wave. I've said this a million times. It's just like, you know, like punk bands turned into new wave bands, becoming more commercially acceptable to be able to get on TV and radio. Yeah. The only alternative bands that I see on Alternative Nation are, you know, that close to Bon Jovi, and so are we, you know. So we have no reason to be griping about it, but I guess
It just
I am.
comes naturally. Right?
It's kind of depressing.
Why
No,
not?
it has. I mean, it's sure. I mean, I think a consciousness and an overall consciousness, you know, being more environmentally aware and stuff like that, you know, sure. I have nothing against MTV, really, believe me. it's
Where's that Bible?
You know, cruising down Sunset Boulevard on your Harley and guzzling Jack Daniels. I mean, what's that about?
The artwork came first,
yeah.
and then the title. And that was, did you come up with the artwork, or was it, you know?
Yeah, I've just always been kind of obsessed with birth and death and stuff like that. I'm not a death rocker, but and I don't wear black, but
At one point you were going to call it I Hate Myself and I Want to Die.
yeah.
Then it was verse, chorus, verse.
Those are fine titles, but just like Rape Me, you know, the title itself confuses people. People would take it too literally. They think we were being serious because no one sees the funny side of us hardly. You know, every picture, you know, if we take a photo shoot, you know, we may smile or make goofy faces 90% of the time, and if we frown for 3 seconds, they'll use those 3-second shots, you know. And it's just, I just have noticed this image of us as being a serious, you know, angry, pissed off band.
Right.
You know, so.
That you think that's the image that people want to have of you, rather than...
I don't know if they want that or if it's just turned out that way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're resisting you, but what you're doing is all right.
People just like
people
to
just-
stand and watch now.
Yeah, they,
Like we're
Because all the
circus
scenesters got in.
monkeys.
All the
well,
scenesters
it's a
were
different
involved.
scene. It's, you know, we haven't been in that scene for years, for a few years now, and it's a different breed of people. I mean,
In
the
Seattle?
generation has moved up and into the ranks of turning 21, and they don't seem to have the same spirit as they did in Seattle a few years ago.
Do you think it's...
Sodomites,
Okay.
do you have AIDS yet?
I guess, Chris, in some of the recent interviews, you've been tried to steer away from political subjects so as not to be kind of pigeonholed as the
Heavy-handed.
political one, or...
Yeah. It could be like We Are the World. We could be on stage celebrating famine in Africa. You know, we are the world. And there's kids that they were doing that just totally starving to death. I mean, it's gross. 17. We charge $17.
So what do you...
Fugazi's playing tonight, and they're charging $5.
Six.
So how does that make you feel?
Weak. Exploited.
Yep. See?
M16 all the time.
Colt 45.
Because
Colt
I
45.
swear, I don't have a gun.
I keep it in my teepee when we go out in the woods and sleep.
Do you?
Yeah. You never know what's going to happen out there.
Do you think that images of guns and violence in media and popular culture have contributed to the rise in violence?
Yeah, I think
among
so.
teens?
I think so. I think Sir Mix-a-Lot standing in front of his exotic car collection holding 2 handguns and sending out a message like, hey, look at all these cars, look at all this jewelry, look at all these guns, cool, Daddy-O or whatever. And I think that was really irresponsible of him to do that.
Do you think
There's
that...
nothing romantic about guns. They're a tool, and they're, in this world, in this country, things have just degenerated so much. It's just like you have to protect yourself because there's a lot of jerks out there. When I went to the gun shop to buy the guns, you should have seen the people in there buying this. This guy was looking at this. I guess I hate to judge people by their appearance, but I mean, there were some gangbangers in there just swooning over these 9mm. Oh man, check that out! They're going crazy. It's like, God, I was in there, Ernie and I were in there just like, whoa, what are we doing in here? But we felt like we had a duty to be in there and protect our families and homes and stuff. And these guys were, it was just a novelty to them. Like, yeah, you got to have a gun, you know. It's scary, that kind of mentality, you know. Well, if you have any common sense, you won't glorify violence, or you won't, you know,
there's
dwell
nothing
on
wrong
it.
with raising the issue of violence, but glorifying it.
Yeah. They're just their irresponsibility. It's just like, I don't know, just a lack of responsibility. They don't really think about it too much. They're just like, they're wrapped up in that whole romanticism of guns and hey, it's cool, you know.
I have to admit, it really is kind of fun to shoot guns. When I go out to the shooting range, it's an enjoyable sport.
Yeah.
I like to do it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. I mean, and it's a responsibility to know your gun too. You just shouldn't have it. I mean, you should really respect
Oh yeah,
it.
if you buy a gun to protect yourself, and you don't know how to shoot it, you don't practice, you're not gonna hit the person if they're this close to you.
I don't want to join the NRA. I don't agree with the NRA. A lot of things the NRA says, you know. I just have my own reasons.
An alternative nation, and if you want to do